then, well, let me talk about this instead. I want to talk about Comet Tsu. I call it Tsu Atlas, but it's Tsu something, some like Japanese name. Atlas, so I just call it Tsu Atlas, but it's like if you search it, it's TSU, and then you type that in and you see it come up with Tsu Atlas. And so I want to talk about this comet for a minute then, if I can't find my words to speak about both comets and both eclipses and both feasts. So this Tsu Atlas is going to be a big one. I mean, it's Palm Brooks is coming earlier in the year during the America crossout eclipse on the new year of the biblical calendar. "14 days before Passover feast," but Tsu Atlas is coming in towards the fall feast. Like you can see, well, God has his spring and he has his autumn feast. Well, Satan also has his feasts on the solstice. So you have the winter solstice, you have Santa, Satan's clause, Christmas, we killed Christ, Father Christmas, from the north, the king of the north, the Reds, the scarlet beast. They have their feast on winter solstice, but they also have their feast on a summer solstice. Why? Well, here you go. You have Father Christmas is like Satan. Well, guess what? The Antichrist, his spiritual son, was born on the summer solstice. So you have a big celebration on summer solstice. You have them all gathering together at Stonehenge. And I didn't even really know it till recently, but Glastonbury is a celebration of that. So, you know, it's quite incredible that so the celebrations around the summer solstice are for the Antichrist, who was born from the Virgin Diana, who they called Isis. She gave birth to Horus, who will be the one-eyed Antichrist. On June 21st, 1982, on the summer solstice, and exactly like Benjamin Creme told the world, you know, months before, that the Christ was going to be revealed on the next summer solstice, and people were like, but yeah, future King William V was born summer solstice 1982. So Satan has his solstice feast, God has his spring feasts. But obviously Satan also has his Easter feast to counter Passover. But yeah, anyway, this comet is coming in now, Tsu Atlas, mate. Oh, I tell you what, this, compared to Palm Brooks, compared to that, Tsu Atlas is going to be big. I mean, it's forecasted as being big on the planetary software. So what's really special about this comet, okay? What's really special about this comet, because when I think about Comet Wormwood is the comet that came down in the Black Death. He sprayed the Earth. Well, actually, there was said to be 2 comets. I know one of them was called Negra, and they sprayed the Earth and they poisoned the water supply, and everyone died from the Black Death. That's exactly what's going to happen during the trumpet judgment. Trumpet judgment number 3, a star's going to fall from heaven, blazing as a torch, and it's going to poison the water supply. So I've always looked at comets as being like a physical thing. I'm like, is this physical? Possible. So I know this is probably the opposite way for you, like, but you know, you got the sun here, you got the Earth. The Earth is the center, but you see it on the modelers going around the sun like this. But I'm saying, like, most comets come past. Here's the Earth, here's the sun, and they'll sort of like pass before the Earth, they'll go around the sun and out again. And this is the tail. The tail always points away from the sun, so when they go around the sun. But usually they pass in front of the Earth, or maybe behind the Earth, and so the tail is always away from the Earth. Or you could say the Earth, if you look at it from a solar system point of view diagram, the Earth never passes through the tail of a comet. Well, guess what? This Tsu Atlas, but I don't know if this is normal. It probably is, and I'm probably going to get some high-flying, what do you call them, meteorologist? No, whatever you call them, people who study these comets and stuff a lot. But a lot of the time, these comets, I notice when they're going round the sun, round the Earth, they do have a anti-clockwise orbit, like the sun has an anti-clockwise orbit around the Earth. It goes around the Earth 1 year on its tilted axis, summer, summer, autumn, winter, down to the middle of the heavens there, off Eucas, and then back up again like this on its tilted axis, the sun going around the Earth, right? And that is how it is. The Earth doesn't move. It's the center to all the stars, and it never moves. So the sun has to go around the Earth. Which it does, and that's what gives us our seasons. Now, but the thing is, when a comet comes, so the sun goes around the Earth on the anti-clockwise. Usually comets come in and go on anti-clockwise. Like, say, here's the Earth, here's the sun, and a comet may come past the Earth, ahead of the Earth, go around the sun, and the tail goes nowhere near us. Well, what's going to be big about this comet and interesting to watch, and you know, usually comets mean something as well. This comet being shown to us, trust me, there's going to be something prophetic happening upon the Earth. Look at when they had us on lockdown. Comets in the sky. I remember trying to look for one and I couldn't find it. Yeah, I spent all night watching it. I did see something through a telescope. I remember one time off the Great Orme, and just like watching out, trying to find it, and you're like, oh, can't find it. Go home about 1 o'clock, whatever it was. And then a mate comes into work after a weekend, and he says, "Hey, is that the comet you were talking about?" And he shows me a picture of the comet. He was coming back at 3 o'clock in the morning, he was. And he showed me a picture of the comet, like clear as day. It was clear to the naked eye. And he took a picture with his smartphone. And he's like, is this the comet you were trying to look for? Because I spent so much time trying to look for it as well, that, hey, when you're not looking for it, something happens. But yeah, he showed me that, which was quite good, because we can't do this by ourselves, can we? So, yeah, but lockdown, comets, was it Neowise was one of them, and there was a couple of them. There was about 3 during the period of time of lockdown, when Biden went to Israel, and he signed an agreement, but he was talking about a 2-state solution at the time. So America, or Biden in, thingy for America, went to Israel, and they were talking about 2-state solution, and they do all this signing business. So what did he sign? Did he say America is willing to agree to separate Israel and say, you have that Palestine, and this will be Israel, back to 1948 lines or whatever. Well, guess what? Comet K2 was coming at its close approach when it happened. you know what I mean? These comets mean something. These comets are like signs up there saying, hey, there's something happening on the Earth. Go back in time even further. I'm pretty sure it was when the Malaysian aircraft went missing as well. I'm pretty sure it was early on as well, like 2013 or 14, when I was first born again. In fact, the false prophet, the last pope, didn't come in till 2013. Lightning strike from heaven. The other guy resigns. The false prophet, the last pope, Francis Peter the Roman, because he is a clone of St. Peter, just like the Trinity are all clones. He was in around 2013, but I mean, it's literally 13 or 14, one of the years. He went to Israel and he did a Babylonian ritual. Yeah, he did all this stuff like a Roman sort of ceremony, which is a Babylonian pagan ritual, in the upper room where Jesus was said to have his Last Supper. So the false prophet Baphomet, who will be filled with Baphomet, the beast Baphomet, went to the upper room where Jesus, had his Last Supper and did a ritual. Well, Comet, I can't remember what it was. I think something like Linear, or one of the comets, was coming through a close approach. I know because I made an actual image about it. Don't actually have the image. I've tried to look back in my blog and I didn't actually make a blog post about it. So, but I'm pretty sure I had the Pope, the comet, and the Malaysian aircraft as well. Anyway, I remember the comet coming past the Earth, close approach, wherever it was, during the time that the false prophet was doing his ritual in the upper room. So then you have, see what I mean? You have all these prophetic events happening during these time when these comets are coming past. So, hey, guarantee, mate, when these comets are going past, whether it be Palm Brooks and coming up now, April, or whether it be the fall one, Tsu Atlas, just keep a watch on the Earth and you may see some big events now. Now it's going to pass the sun, and it's going to be on Jesus' birthday. Right, because he was born on the Feast of Trumpets, the 3.5th day of Feast of Trumpets, so 3.5, when the sun is clothing the woman, the virgin, and the moon is under her feet. This is his true birthday. Not Christmas. In fact, if you look in the sky at Christmas, what do you see the sun clothing? Sagittarius, which is what? It's a symbol of the Antichrist. When he's crowned in seal 1, it says he's a rider on a horse and he has a bow, and he comes out to conquer and to conquer. So when William's crowned king, that's his symbol. And in fact, they're talking about Winter King now on Netflix as being King Arthur, which William is King Arthur. So, you know, keep a watch out for that winter time of the seals happening. It's just another confirmation. But when you Christmas and you look in the sky, you see the Antichrist clothed with the sun. Well, when you look in the sky, the Feast of Trumpets, you see the woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet. And of course, the Revelation 12 birth of his second coming birth was complete in 2017. So this year he's going to be 7 years old. Now it's very interesting as well. It's become like full circle. I mean, these signs, both of them, I'm not going to go into the other one, but both of these signs are like bing, bing, bing. You know, look at me, New Year, Jesus' actual birthday. But here's the thing about Comet. Here's the main point about Comet Tsu Atlas, is that it's going to pass. It's not on an anti-clockwise around the sun and the earth. It's actually on a clockwise orbit around the sun and the earth. And it's going to come that close to the sun and the earth. Well, it's going to come that close to the sun anyway by comet standards. It's actually going to pass through. So you got the sun here, you got the earth here. It's actually, when it goes around the sun and it's going to, the tail points away, the tail is actually going to be pointing at the earth, or you could say the earth is going to be passing through the tail. Now, what does this mean? I don't know. Is there some sort of wormwood thing coming, like poisoning? I don't know. Maybe it's a precursor wormwood. Do I think it's wormwood? No. But you know, I could be wrong. I'd say if William's crowned king just before September, then I was wrong. But I don't think so, because of that World War III revelation that we had, pointing at 2026 as being World War. Minus 6 months to the passing of the throne equals Tevet 14th, meaning the end of 25 into 26. But I don't think it's wormwood, because the trumpet judgments come with the throne, Neberu, at the seal 6 and 7, which like I say, until the seals begin, you wouldn't really know that. But do I think it's wormwood? I don't think so, because of that World War thingy. You know, I think we've got at least another year and a bit after, well, a year after this, actually. A year after the Fall Feast, so 2025 Fall Feast, that's when I believe that all this is going to start to be revealed, like, yeah. Even the inheritance event happening on the Feast of Tabernacles of 2025, possibly, because of like Enoch 60. So yeah, but this comet is like got an opposite orbit to what I've noticed before anyway. It's probably normal in, you know, to experts, but because of its clockwise orbit around the sun, it's going to pass between us and the sun. Now, you know, I don't believe in the numbers that they give you, so many miles to the sun and all that sort of stuff. I don't believe that. I believe the sun is a lot closer than what we're told it is, of course. Maybe even closer than what we actually think. But here's the thing. I mean, here's the thing to like kind of is a bit shocking as well. You've got a big ball of whatever, or an entity, and he's coming around the sun, and he's going to pass between Earth and the sun. So literally, you think the sun's right there. Well, this comet's going to come in between us and the sun, and it's got a tail which is pointing at us. So this is the extreme thing about this comet that deserves for it to, you know, have its own video made about it, because it's not like other comets I've seen before where they pass on, they go around here and then nowhere. It's going to pass past the sun and the Earth, and literally the Earth is going to pass through the tail of it. Like I say, I don't think it's Wormwood, it's not Nibiru or nothing like that, but it is quite profound, like, and so, and it's going to be very visible. So, and here's another thing about it, is that as it starts to come slightly north to south like this past the sun, like on them run-up days, and one of its strongest point is passing around the sun, if you like, visually, is going to be on that annular eclipse. And the annular eclipse is the first day of trumpets. So you've got the annular eclipse on day 1, day 2, 3 and a half, and then you've got Jesus' birthday. And on the 14th day of that month, you've got the Feast of Tabernacles. So all this is happening around then. And it's almost like a bing, bing, bing. This is Jesus' birthday. Like last year, well, I'll go into it anyway, but here's the thing, is that on its approach, if you look to the east, yeah, you're going to catch a glimpse of this thing flaring up as it gets closer to the sun. So if you look east, prior to October 2nd, I think the eclipse is. So if you look, you know, a few weeks before that, you know, last weeks of September, if you look to the east, you may see this comet coming down. And it reminds me, you know, we're talking about his birthday, and it reminds me of the birth. You know, they said, we seen his star in the east and we came to worship him. We seen his star in the east and we came to worship him. Yet a week before Jesus' actual birthday, which is Feast of Trumpets, you know, you're going to see, at the end of September, you're going to see a star in the east, the rising of the sun, coming down like this. After it, so talking about visualization now, after it passes the sun, it's going to go like that. And if it survives the passing of the sun, which not, you know, comets are not guaranteed to do, but if it survives its passing with the sun, it's going to go, like I said, in between Earth and the sun, and it's going to go out like this. So then if you look to the west, you're going to see it in the west, or, you know, during sunset, and you're going to see a big tail. This thing is forecasted to have a big tail to put on a good show. It might even be the biggest comet we've seen in our lifetime. thing is, you think about it, and it's like, what have I just told you? It's going to come that close to the Earth and the sun that, hey, you would expect it to flare up. So, I just wanted to mention this because it's quite amazing that during the time of Jesus' birthday, his true birthday, Feast of Trumpets, you're going to have a star coming down in the east, come past us, and then pass between us and the Earth, which who knows what effects it might have. I don't know. That's exactly like you'd expect Wormwood to do. What I was trying to say is the physical side of it. You'd expect Wormwood you'd expect the Earth to pass through the tail of Comet Wormwood. Let's just put it that way. But am I saying that Tsu Atlas is Comet Wormwood? Well, no. But it's profound because it's got a clockwise orbit around the sun, and it's going to pass between us and the sun. I mean, just that fact, incredible, is the thing that, because the sun feels so close to us, the heat, and during an eclipse, you feel it go cold. And just imagine now another heavenly object, a big one with a big tail on it, is going to come between us and the sun, and the tail's going to be pointing at us. So, this is just whoa. This is going to be a big show, this one. So this is why I'm making an individual video about it. So yeah, but I will make a video about the spring feast as well. But so keep your eyes open. Like I say, I don't think this is Wormwood, don't think it's Nibiru, but I could be wrong. You'll know I'm wrong, because if the king's crowned, if the king is crowned, William's crowned king, seal 1, then it's on, and I was wrong. But I'm still very much believing in it's going to be the fall of 2025. But this is just like a precursor, and it's like bing, bing, bing. This is Jesus' proper birthday. Oh, that's what I meant to say as well. Because last year, it was running up to Christmas, I go, I've got to listen to all this shit again from people. Merry Christmas, and happy birthday, Jesus, and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, well, I share Jesus' birthday every year. I make a post, and I'll share an image or something. But no one listens to the truth. So last year, on the run up to Christmas, I was just like, well, shall I just not go on social media altogether? And I was like, but that didn't happen. But looking back at it, I probably have a load of messages anyway saying Merry Christmas, and loads of posts on your wall saying Merry Christmas and all this sort of jazz. But what ended up happening was me just getting mad at Christians, because hey, let the heathen have the heathen feast. No, they're going to hell anyway because they're not saved, so might as well be doing the things that send you to hell anyway. Do you know what I mean? So what's the difference? It's okay for a heathen to enjoy a pagan holiday, but then you got the Christians, and the Christians like, oh, Jesus, he's the reason for the season. No, he's not. He's not the reason for the season. Jesus Christ has no connection to Christmas at all. It's not his birthday. I just told you his birthday, Feast of Trumpets, which actually is 3 months earlier. All right. And then you get to Tevet 14th, which is around Christmas, which is around when the 2 witnesses are going to be killed. We're going to be killed in Jerusalem just before Christmas, and the heathen's going to make merry and send gifts one to another. After 3.5 days, we're going to rise from the dead, and we're going to ascend up to heaven, and then that's the second passing of the throne. And then you got 3 months on until Passover. So, do you know what I mean? But Christmas is not his birthday. It makes you sick. Santa Claus, anagram of Satan. Satan's claws in your kids. Father Christmas. Father Satan killed Christ. I mean, they even put it on videos now where they're making children think and they got Satan the wrong way round with Santa. They're just taking the piss out of you. It's insane. It's a satanic feast, but you know, all the heathen, all the atheists, all the communists even sell it. Fake Jews even celebrate it. They do both. Cheeky, you know, fake Jews are celebrating Hanukkah and then they're celebrating Christmas at the same time. It's like, what the? You are the worst kind, man. You can't even stick to even one religion. So yeah. So then you got fake Christmas. You know, he was doing my head in, but then it's like, well, Christians celebrating it. Now, then Christians teaching that it's his birthday, and it makes me sick because I'm preaching God has revealed to us his birthday, Revelation 12, he's revealed to it. And then when you try and teach it on and then people are not listening, it pisses me off, man. And I've been doing it too many years now, 11 years, yeah, and it does my head in. So I don't want to listen to Christians talking that shit again. So basically, I'd send them a message saying it's not his birthday. Feast of Trumpets is. Sunday's not the holy day. Saturday is. And I just sent them a message anyway. I didn't do it by mistake, but I literally deleted like about 1,000 Christians who celebrated Christmas and were teaching falsely that it's his birthday. I literally rebuked them, sent them a message telling them the truth though. It's not like I deleted them, you know, without leaving him with something, let's say. So I deleted him. I told him that Christmas is not his birthday, told him what is, left him a message anyway. And most people didn't get back. Some people got back to, you know, so-called Christians now, threatening behavior, calling me all the names under the sun and all that. Some were hypocrites. They were like, oh, I know it's not his birthday. I was like, you just sent a post saying, oh, look, a child is born and you're doing it now. And then you get the other ones who rationalise, oh, well, I know it's not his birthday, but I like to celebrate his birthday on this day. Well, it's not his birthday. You know, you wouldn't celebrate my birthday in February, would you? Do you know what I'm saying? People make excuses for it because here's the thing, they don't want to be different. They don't want to separate themselves. But if the atheists and the heathens across the whole world are celebrating Christmas, do you really think it's for Christ? For celebrating Jesus? Do you really think it's godly if the whole world are doing it? Absolutely not. Just that common sense, you know, should tell people that it's not Christmas. So yeah, so this comet is like bing bing bing, this is his birthday. And hey, we ain't got many years. We've got 1 year left. Bad thing about Christmas is it only comes around once a, well, the good thing and the bad thing. Good thing for me is that Christmas only comes around once a year. Bad thing for the heathen is it only comes around once a year, because the heathen now only has one chance to show God that he's ready to follow the truth, boycott Christmas, tell his kids the truth, tell the kids the truth, and to boycott Christmas. They've only got one shot now, because when after 2025's over, then we get into 26. And like I say, if nuclear world war, Trumpet 6 is going to be, it's going to happen in July of 26. Then take away 5 months, 6 months for the passing of the throne till Tevet. Well, then you take away 40 days for the seals to happen. Then that means the seals will be beginning in like mid to late November. Do you know what I mean? So that means the the inheritance event has to happen first, in which the 7 seals are given to Jesus. So there's a few events that are yet to come and have to come before the seals happen as well. So I believe that's all going to be in the fall of 2025. But here's the thing, it is the fall of 25. So that is the run-up to Christmas. Do you not think war outbreak? Do you not think market collapse is going to ruin your Christmas now? And they freeze accounts and or banks foreclose. Imagine what's going to happen when they shut the money. If they shut the money off, markets collapses, companies, banks fold, bankrupt, and they lose your money. What do you think that Christmas is going to be like? If the seals begin at the beginning of November, then that means war outbreak, market collapse, the Dome of the Rock being destroyed, and America being invaded. It's all going to happen pretty much before Christmas. So what sort of Christmas is that going to be of 2025? I'm going to tell you, I just made a post about this. I will turn your feasts into mourning, your songs, your hymns into lamentations. You won't be singing Merry, Merry Christmas, a child is born. You'll be singing, please God help us. And in fact, that is seal number 5 before the throne hits. So if the throne hits on the 3rd of January, same thing. What sort of new year are you going to have? You probably won't even remember it as New Year because of all the tribulation that's going to be coming during the seals on the run-up to the first passing of the throne. So, yeah, quite incredible. So I'll just leave you with that anyway. Comet Tsu Atlas is going to be a big one, and it's going to pass between us and the sun. How incredible is that? It's going to put on a massive show. What's going to be the effects of the tail? Don't know. What are going to be the prophetic events that happen on the earth? Don't know. You have to wait and see. Oh, here's another point as well. It's going to point at Virgo when it goes, because obviously the woman, the virgin Virgo, is clothed with the sun on Jesus' birthday. Now Comet Tsu is going to come past it like this and go. It's almost like it points. So it comes down, it goes past the sun's going through Virgo. So it points like this, and it's actually pointing at Virgo. So Virgo is Israel. So, I mean, there's that inclination to think that it might have something to do with Israel around that time as well. So that's just another little add-on as well. So this will all be happening, and Comet Tsu Atlas will be pointing at Virgo, which actually is Israel. But yeah, it's a very profound comet. Do I think it's Nibiru or anything now? No. But it's almost like the signs are streamlining, and do you know what I mean? It's not uncommon for us to have blood moons on the feast days. But to have a total eclipse and a comet on a feast time is quite incredible. So 2014 is one of them years that, like, sit up straight kind of, it's one of them years. And yes, but I mean, if the end of the age is coming, if extinction is coming at the end of 2025, then, well, we're running out of time, aren't we? So anyway, I've been Pastor Prophet Justin Roberts from End of the Age Bible Prophecy. God bless you all in Jesus' precious name. Amen.